Brillion. I am an account executive with Brillion. I started my career off in Block out of Georgia. So although I live in Birmingham, I do resonate with the state of Georgia. I do live in Alabama. I started with Apogee about a year ago, actually in the healthcare industry from 10 years. So
oh, sorry, my voice curious. So Jonathan Kleinman, Vice President of Utility Innovation Policy. I'm one of the people who's been in the space for a long time, started in 2001. And so we're going to focus on, obviously there's a new name, right? So part of what we want to do is make sure everybody, I think, can understand what we've done in terms of bringing everything together. So it's a little bit of a, here we are kind of presentation, but we will provide examples of how we're helping our clients navigate what's going on in the energy transition right now. But we, I think we have to level set who we are right now, so that from Apogee to Brillion, given the whole time, it's very, you all can see where we're going. And I'm based in Austin.
You said your voice carries, mine does too. So if I yell, I apologize. So what we're going to talk about today, like John said, it's a little bit self-promoting, but at the end of the day, we are here to support healthy hours, and we're going to talk through what we're doing and how our customers are using us. But we really need to tell you who we are and where we come from. We'll talk about the platform as well, but essentially we are a software company. So the next slide you're going to see maybe some familiar names, Apogee in the forefront, which they have been around for about 30 years. Back in May of last year, Legacy Apogee sold, and we merged this past May, I guess, really technically like August, September last year. But we identify as Brillion as of May of this year, and we are in our infancy phase, so it's new names, so don't feel like you're being left out. I know that was a really big thing. But this is our platform. It's engage, educate, and fulfill, because we've understood that there's really only 3 pillars as part of the customer's journey. So what we understood is that we needed a better way to engage, educate, and serve our customers, especially for key programs and initiatives. So someone had to find a way, had to create a way to get everyone's attention and cooperation. So a lot of themes have resonated with me since I got here. So whether it's reliability, whether it's programs or initiatives that's going on at the local utility, whether it's the infrastructure, grid management, how can we support you? And so this is something that is super important to Brillion and our legacy teams. So that all sounds great, but one thing that we really pride ourselves on are the numbers, because that's how we report back to you how your programs are doing, how your data is resonating. And for us, I know for this segment, Jonathan and I are really going to focus on EVs. And so by the numbers, Brillion has supported over 150 utilities in this space. 90 are of us are Billionaires, so we still are kind of a small company, and so you get very intimate one-on-one conversations. You don't have to call some like random number to try to find someone to talk to. Together conjoins 2,000 gigawatts saved per year, which is like super impressive, especially as these data centers grow, EV demand grows. We serve 55 million meters. We have 1,000 years of experience, which sounds so unique. $21.5 million saved per year, which is phenomenal. So the first section is engage. So that's one of the 3 reasons. What we've understood is that the engagement portion of your customer journey is going to be the primary focus on how the consumer understands their relationship with the utility, how to manage their energy consumption. And so with our platform, engage is very important. It explains the consumption, if there's any rate changes, and we are also able to provide tips and offers to optimize their usage. So a couple things that we do is the video build series. Most of you may be familiar with it. We've expanded that since the merger. We now can record your CEO and put that on video bill, and so it's your CEO talking. We can also make modifications to the images so it resonates with the utilities, especially small accounts, using those images to resonate with the consumer. My most favorite of our outbound communications is going to be the welcome series. I think first impressions are important. That's what resonates with almost anyone, especially myself. And so just getting that interest is gonna help drive programs as well. So you have to spark interest, which is part of our engage platform. And so for EVs, what we've learned is that targeted email campaigns are super important. And the way that we help support you is through like an outbound targeted email campaign. Other opportunities is like our video bill explanation, as I mentioned, our end of year summaries. I know we have Elizabeth at our table of Florida reliability. That's a huge sentiment with Brillions, but of course anyone else for that matter. And energy savings tips, weather stats, annual campaigns, and of course monthly member emails. So the video is great, right? But if you don't have an EV program, there isn't a demand for it. We all know that there is so much interest, so many consumers that are very interested in ways to convert from a combustion engine to an EV. It's important that you have those conversations internally, but if that's something that we can support in terms of engaging with your customers and having your member cities or the utilities together, just knowing that the targeted video bill provisions that we do offer is something that we need to help promote for you. So this slide specifically is our open and click-through rates. So I can tell you how great the video is. I can tell you how important the messaging is, but if your customers are not opening the emails and engaging, then that in itself is going to be a testament to them not learning. So for our video EV targeted video bill, we are seeing well above industry average, which is like 50%. So 67.9% across our EV targeted videos, and then 12.9% is the click-through rate. So that's them going to the end of the video, watching it, taking the survey, and actually engaging with the messaging. So not only are you getting that consumer information out, you're also getting it. So now I'm going to turn it back to Jonathan for our educate pillar.
Thanks, Brilllion. So continuing the customer journey, we had engage, which is getting people's attention. Now, if you got their attention, what do they do next? So one of the things that's important is to give them information about the different choices or actions that they can take. So what we do is we can provide tools online that allow people to understand how to improve their energy use to engage in specific end uses, like an EV, heat pump, water heater, maybe heat pump. And then there's also these can be posted on the inside of your billing portal. And there are different ways that we have of working with the customer based upon their learning style. So we can provide a virtual audit, those online calculators if people really want to dive into the details. And we also have a forms or enrollment portal that can push people to our back-end system to help you administer those, or push people to other third parties that may be providing programs on your behalf. So one of the things that we do provide is a virtual home energy audit. This doesn't require billing integration. So what we are able to do is use data sets that are available publicly, tax assessment parcel data, completed home energy audits. Those get fed into, yes, machine learning algorithm. But what we've been able to do is to use that to project not just what people's end use consumption is, but also what are the recommendations that a home energy auditor would make, and how much savings one potential customer could get out of that. And then based on those recommendations, people can take action. That might be participating in your program. But so instead of getting just general recommendations, they're very targeted and specific to a heat pump water heater with a savings estimate and a dollar estimate. We did this for, here we go. We did this for Focus on Energy Wisconsin. So that's a statewide set of programs that are going on. So you can see on the left a set of recommendations of specific measures that people should undertake with savings estimates, as well as the cost estimate and rebate estimate. They can then again be taken to a program, or this can just be information that you get out there. The great thing about this is that you can treat everybody in the territory instantaneously. So everybody has access to this information. It doesn't require sending somebody out to the home. And then people can go into the portal, update information about the home, and they'll get a recalculated results. And then those recommendations can move forward. So we're not comparing people to their neighbors. We're not giving them a frowny face if their consumption is too high. It is just, what is it? What action can you take, and how can you move forward? So in Wisconsin,
we did, once the system was set up, 225,000 building profiles. So if you are looking at your members and you want to be able to come up with a strategy to serve them equally, this could be a way to address every home within the aggregated territory of your members. It can lead to a program, or it could just be an additional educational tool for your customers to understand what action they can take, for your members, customers to take. And then finally, the final element of the journey for Fulfill is if customers then, once they're educated, want to take action, you're going to help them, but you don't have the in-house resources to be able to manage that entire process, we can bring people all the way through. So there's workflow automation, there's automated communication to customers, and then there's built-in reporting if you need to talk to regulators, board members, et cetera. And from your perspective, we are able to segment participation by each of your members. So you can track participation by member, budget spend by member, et cetera. So here's an example from the demand response area. And we wanted to try to tie things into, specific grid management issues that you may be dealing with. So this is a utility that is using different DERMS providers, demand response management providers. But they don't, you can log into usually each individual demand response provider portal, but you don't have that aggregate view. Here we're getting that aggregate view. So we're able to bring in data from all of the different providers. You can see, they've got 97 megawatts of DR, the commercial sector. The graphs below show that broken out by each of the DR providers. So we're able to ingest information, present it in dashboards that allow you to visualize it so you can get an understanding of what's happening in aggregate. And finally, the thing that has made us brilliant is the fact that you have all these different companies coming together, but we have consolidated the data. So on the back end, we have built a unified data model so that all three of these different pieces do communicate with one another. And so what that means is that on the engagement of the education side, right now as an Austin Energy customer, I get recommendations to do things that I've already done. And that Austin Energy should know that I've done because I've gotten their rebate for them. Based on this data connection, those recommendations will go away because they're able to keep track of my participation history. We can, using the data, target very specific geographic areas and programs. From the data analytics that you're doing, there may be individual communities where energy efficiency, demand response, battery storage might be more important. You can micro-target those programs to those specific locations. So this is where you start to really understand how do you tie the demand side and the supply side together. And so that's where we are going as a company. So finally, we are stitching everything together on the engage, educate, and fulfill. So we see this as a whole customer journey. And then the data insights engine is what allows us to talk to other customer information systems, other analytics providers. We have connectors that allow us to do that. So it's really about how are you able to engage the customers as a whole to become a resource and a partner in what you need to do to manage your grid. So that's it. Thank you for the time.
This has been a production of Hometown Connections. Thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.